been asked by Ron to come and join McLaren to help take the road car company and build it into something that has the same notoriety, the same excellence, the same values as McLaren as a race team was just a fantastic thing. It's a boyhood dream. It's something that you could just never say no to. The first question is, what type of car should it be? And we decided as an opening salvo, it was a lot more exciting and a lot more challenging to try to take all of the values of the McLaren F1 and of McLaren, the brand, and to distill it into something that was an everyday car.
The whole car is basically designed for purpose, or everything for a reason. We have a different strategy at McLaren, which is we actually bring the engineers in together with the car designers right from the actual beginning of the project.
My role in the development process for this program, the 12C road car, began actually by sitting in a box in the styling studio and helped determine where the sight lines, where the controls should be. From a purist point of view, we tried to produce the ultimate driver's car, and as such, it needed the ultimate driving position.
What we're trying to do is really not design the car such that it's there as a, as a sculpture or a design piece just to look pretty. With this combination of design and engineering blending perfectly together right from the start, what we've come up with a car that almost is design engineered. So you're getting basically a very, very pure product that is designed to do what we've set out to do, which is make the ultimate sports car.
Many of the great things that went into the 12C came from thinking of unconventional ways of doing things. So in fact, we're using the brakes to have the same effect that a very heavy, expensive torque vectoring differential would have. We call it brake steer. The car is just as quick, the performance is just as good, but it weighs 10 or 15 kilos less because it doesn't have this massive, complicated differential in the car.
What's very, very unique about the car is it has an extremely small, what we call footprint. If you can actually produce a car that it's as tight, as small as can be, yet still have enough room inside for the driver and the passenger to feel comfortable, then you've sort of hit on the magic formula. The radiators normally would be out towards the side. What we've done, though, is we've actually put the radiators in car line. So what actually looks on the side of the car is a very stylized item that brings a lot of identity to the car, which is this blade we have on the side. It has nothing to do with styling. It's actually designed to make the air stick along it and come in with extreme high amount of force and efficiency into the radiator.
We have an amazing simulation and vehicle dynamics department here in McLaren Automotive. It rivals any Formula One team's capabilities. Before we even put petrol in one of those cars, took them to a track and ran them, we were already nearly there. But one of the key features actually is the innovative suspension system, the proactive chassis control. No other car on the market has exactly what we have here, and that took some developing. It's actually invisible to the driver. All you feel as a driver is great balance, whether you're in a slow second gear hairpin or a flat-out fifth gear crest on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. We could map the characteristic and the suspension behaviour literally metre by metre through a corner, from braking, turn in, mid-corner, on power, corner exit. They could all be handled differently by the car, and we could map that out accurately. And in the end, we joined all the dots and ended up with a seamless handling characteristic, which is what we have now.
Faced with impossible challenges, faced with things that will make a better car for you, we decided to try to innovate. McLaren is a brand that is positioned as having links to Formula One and technology that comes from Formula One. Why? Because it does. You will see that when you drive the car.
There are certain things on the 12C that we're not actually allowed to have on the Formula One car, which is quite exciting, with the brake steer and many different things to do with the traction control.
So a lot of the ideas that we're actually using in our products will actually come directly from Formula One. What's really nice is that our engineers say, okay, well, let's use that for the road car then, and really show them what we can do.
I think it's also very exciting for somebody that is going to jump into one of these, knowing that it's got a carbon fibre safety cell, and all of the technology that we've learned over decades is in the road car.
They've got the best knowledge of how a car should be built and how a car should handle. And there's some car manufacturers, and I think there's no way that they can compete with us because they don't have anywhere near the same knowledge.
We have a lot of technology, but most of all, what we have are the design approach and the mentality and a focus on things that are important that big car companies wouldn't necessarily see as important. But for a company like McLaren, who's searching for that last 1/1000th of a % of improvement on the performance of the car, these little things are massively important. And it's this type of design approach which leads to a car which does things in a way that are different from other cars. You'll see it when you drive it. Perhaps the best drive I had was right at the very end of the development of the car. We were going for a sign-off drive, northwestern Spain. There's a mountain range, I think it's called Montserrat. We were going up and down this mountain pass, and it's one hairpin after another, and it almost felt like the axis of rotation of the car was right through my head. The car was just rotating around. It felt so easy and so fluid and so quick that at one point I just started breaking out laughing because I couldn't believe how much fun it was and how good it made me look, because frankly, the car makes me look a much better driver than I really am.
Most of the time I really struggle to find a car that actually is fun to drive on a circuit, but obviously the 12C is very, very different. You know, as you get into a corner, it stiffens up, you feel every bump as you go through the corner. You have a good feeling like you do in a racing car, so I really do enjoy it on the circuit, but you know, most people aren't going to be driving it around a circuit, so I took a 12C out a few months ago. It was really good fun to actually drive it on the road, and the best bit about it is that I find it so comfortable to drive on the road.
To be one of the first people to drive one of the prototypes and to be able to give feedback on it was a very unique experience. It's a beautiful car to drive.
Having driven a variety of test cars in some very glamorous and many not so glamorous locations, you get used to seeing it in a particular light. But even better than that was going out onto the roads in a real customer's car and seeing all of those years' worth of huge work and effort from everybody here at McLaren going into your car and seeing your car in its real environment on the public roads is amazing.
I think when you get the car, take it to your favorite road, the road that you always take your car to test it, to see what your car can do.
It's great, isn't it?